Welcome, welcome, welcome. One of the more challenging aspects of the teaching is that the attempt is to speak about what cannot really in truth be spoken about. What can be spoken about is what you are not, as opposed to what you are. What you are is not a thing, it's not an object, it's not a circumstance, it's not in time, it's not bound. And the mind cannot summarize or approximate it because the mind, words, are phenomena that is playing in the dream of time. But what you can realize is that anything that you are aware of, you are not. You are aware of it. You are the awareness that is aware of phenomena, but not the phenomena itself. You are aware of comfort and discomfort, happiness and sadness, good situations, bad situations. But the misunderstanding is the conditioning says you are the good situations, the bad situations, the right actions, the wrong actions. But it's just conditioned. It's just a conditioned mental program. And grace is you are aware of the program. For instance, you are aware of the mind body, so you are not limited in any way to the mind body, but the awareness that recognizes it is appearing. The thing about it is when you realize you are the awareness that is aware of all of the phenomena, it ends the illusion of separation and the appearance transforms into God's creation as opposed to a phenomenal experience in time of separation. The conditioned mind holds on to with all of its intensity. It clings to this idea of who I am. But you are aware of all of these ideas. The play is so seductive. The addictive habit runs so deep that it requires a constant self-reminding that whatever I see, I am not. Whatever I hear, I am not. Whatever I perceive, I am not. I am aware. I am aware of all of it. And the feeling of the awareness is unbounded. The schooling, the challenge is the play is always trying to lure the attention into some have to, should do, need to do. But you are not a doing. You are aware of doing. So it is not about anything done or not done, completed or not completed, accomplished or not accomplished. It is that which is aware of all of it. And the feeling of this awareness is the feeling of yourself. It is the unbounded feeling of yourself. Your mind cannot find it because it is not an object of phenomena. You feel it as you feel yourself. It is the only thing that is not away from because it is not in distance. It is here. The feeling of your awareness is here. And the feeling of your awareness is the same feeling for every player because awareness is one. Awareness is conscious. And when awareness falls into its own nature, which is everywhere, it is recognized to be fully conscious of itself. It is a shift from living a life in time based on experiences to the shift that you are aware of experiences and that awareness is not based in time. It's free, it's open, it's unbounded, all inclusive. And when you feel the awareness, you are actually feeling the heart. the heart of totality, which is right here. So for this moment, the opportunity is letting go of the addictive habit that speaks of a story that you are an object in time, and noticing what is aware of that. That is the first step, noticing what is aware of all of the forms of phenomena that distract the attention. And the second step is feeling the awareness. Feeling awareness is beingness. Beingness is the heart. The heart is unbounded. It is seamless, changeless, flawless. And it's right here. Fully conscious. And when the consciousness that you are becomes conscious of itself as opposed to aware of the phenomena, but falls deeply into itself. Consciousness, conscious of itself, is the simple bliss of being. It is love recognizing itself. It is happiness recognizing itself. In order for this to happen, the distracted habits of the complex story of me needs to be released, because that just distracts the attention into the experience of choosing and doing and separation. So the first step is being keenly aware of the mechanics that create the experience of separation. So every time there is a thought, I am doing this, I need to do that, it is to recognize you are aware of this thought. It is to recognize that it is impossible to find the source from where that thought comes. Because the separate individual is phenomena, it is appearance, and you are aware of the appearance. And awareness is always in the moment. And when awareness becomes conscious of its own nature, then it becomes so alive. Not that it was not always so alive, but the habit of the story of me being an object bound in time and location is so seductive. And its story is that experience is reality, and what cannot be experienced is nothingness. But what is experienced by the separate character. And the separate character you are aware of. And the awareness that is aware of the separate character is locationless, but it is felt, not perceived. It has no orientation, but all inclusive. And then something becomes alive within you, not within the character you, but within what is conscious that is you. When the word I is used referring to the speaker, it is not really about the speaker. It is about where the speaking is coming from. When the word I is used, it's not about an individual. It's about where the appearance of the individual comes from. And this you can be keenly aware of. And the feeling of the awareness is the feeling of totality. It's the feeling of your own consciousness. And when I say your own consciousness, I am not speaking about individuals. Consciousness is. The heart is. Love is. Beauty is. The dream, the mortal dream of separation, endless challenge, up and down, round and round. But what is aware of the challenge is not bound by the challenge. It is awareness. As this awareness begins becoming aware of its own nature, becomes conscious itself, which is always in this moment. It's always available because it is the nature of your existence. The play is set up to try to lure the attention. Vigilance is holding on to the awareness that recognizes these tendencies. This is not about getting something. It's not about something. It's not about the appearance of phenomena. It's not about the play of time. It's not about history. It is about what is aware of the totality of all of it. And this that is aware of the totality of all of it is infinite. This that is aware of the totality of all of it is eternal. You exist now. You've only ever existed now. The feeling of that existence is the feeling of now. The feeling of now is the feeling of being. When awareness is aware of itself, it feels itself equally everywhere, equally everywhere. It is not changing, it is not moving. There are no defining characteristics, yet the taste is beyond beauty. It is love loving itself. It is happiness enjoying its own nature. It is silence bathing in the stillness that silence is. And then when movements happen in the characters, the illusion of separate beings doing separate things falls away. The feeling of awareness that is aware of all of it becomes the taste. And then this awareness is tasted to permeate everything that is appearing equally. And then it ceases to be the dream of separation and is recognized as God's creation, the birth of all of these exquisite flavors that are all interconnected, that are all existing within itself. And this makes for such joy and aliveness, such joy and aliveness. This is not to say that the journey is not a struggle. We are so ingrained in this conditioned belief system. We are so ingrained to believe that experience is happening to me, and experience is reality. Even though every time you look for the individual that experience is happening to, it's never possible to find anyone now. It is never possible to find experience in the feeling of now. But the more deeply rooted you become in the recognition, the more the stimulus that is attempting to draw the attention will intensify. This is what gradually frees you deeper and deeper into the silent, unmoving nature of the heart. And the nature of the heart is the nature of the Atman. The Atman is God within. God within is not a doing. God within is not an opinion or a belief. God within is not phenomena. Yet out of the wisdom of God arises the grace of awareness, which brings the discernment of what you are not and have been hypnotized into believing what you are. It reveals that experience is not reality, but subjectivity. It all happens to the character, and there is such an aggressive story that my experience is real, and what is not experienced is nothing. But what does nothing mean? Nothing means no story. Nothing means no story. No story, no past. No past, no identity. No identity. And then the illusion of being someone dissolves. And you taste the infinite nature of conscious awareness. And the schooling, this time in this life, ultimately is about nothing but breaking out of the trance and waking up to your nature, which is the simple feeling of your very existence. It is not away from you, it is within you, it is through everything, it is everywhere, all the time. And what happens as this discovery begins to occur is there begins to be a falling in love with the self in all of its expressions. There begins to be the feeling of unity in all of the expressions of creation. There begins to be the taste of the harmony in all of the expressions of creation. It is right here. It is right here. Where else could it be but here? It is right now. When else could it be but now? Now is not in time, it's now. Here is not in motion, it's here. It is not in the arena of time and location. It is the taste of the self. The addiction that experience is reality can be so intense for the story of the character. Even when you have broken out of the story of the character, the mind body can go through intensity and it can present a challenge. But what does it present a challenge to? No one that you can find. It presents a challenge to no one you can find. But you are aware. You are aware of the challenge. You are aware of everything. And you are aware of yourself. And awareness, aware of itself, is consciousness. And consciousness, conscious of itself, is the natural state, the natural, eternal state of being. and its flavor is love. And then what moves everything is this beauty. The soul's journey is about remembering its nature. The soul is pure light. Pure light. It's not a doing, it's light. And it is interspersed in all of God's forms of light, creating such a beauty, tenderness, and love and sweetness. And it's right here. It's not something the character does. It's not something an object possesses. The first step is to be aware of what has created the addictive habit, the forgetting. Being aware of the play of separation. And as soon as you are aware of the play of separation, it is no longer the play of separation because you are not identified by an object. You are aware. And the feeling of the awareness is the taste of your freedom. Taste of your freedom. The taste of your divinity. And then there is the unmanifest, the celestial beauty of Brahman, where no words can be spoken, for in truth it is all Brahman alone. But out of the creative urge, out of pure artistry, arises the flavors of the soul so they can intersperse and feel each other, not each other as in separate things, but all as an interconnected mesh of pure light, dancing in itself, singing in itself, rejoicing in itself, while at the same time, the character, who knows what the phenomenal body will be going through? It goes through its karma. But what happens is it begins to more and more and more fall into the background. And the taste of the awareness that you are begins to be felt in the foreground. When the taste of awareness is in the foreground, the experience of doing and separation just disappears. Like a nighttime dream after you've woken up. In this journey, the support of every light being is necessary, but it's here. We support each other not as separate individuals, but as the light that we are, interspersed with everything, eternally unchanging, pure and divine. whole and complete. So it is to let the mind do whatever it does, to let the play however it does, to have a one-pointed orientation of being aware of the play as opposed to being identified as a character who is separate from everything else and who chooses, who thinks, who believes it is its own master. But what is the master? What is the master? You can feel the master. It is unmistakable. There is no separation in it. You can feel creation, the master's creation, mixing inside of itself in all of this light and beauty. You can feel what is aware of the master's creation. And you can feel that awareness. That is everywhere. That is unaffected. That is eternal. That is the nature of your existence, here and now, free and clear. You can feel it. It is not about the words. The words are phenomena. You can feel it. You can feel from where the words come. Can be felt in the vibration. The vibration is locationless. It arises from the heart and returns to the heart. In this moment, in reality. So the first step in freeing the addiction is simply realizing you are aware. If you are aware of the character, you cannot be limited to the character. The awareness does not experience, it is just aware. When the awareness falls into its own nature, it becomes conscious. It becomes conscious of itself. And this is the bliss of being. This is the bliss of being here and now and everywhere, infinitely. And the whole field of conscious awareness becomes alive, and it is felt as yourself. This is the offer. This is the offer in reality, in this moment, here and now. So let us sit for a few minutes and take this in. Take in what is aware of the breath, what is aware of the sensations, what is aware of everything that is changing, and noticing the awareness is changeless. Notice that the awareness is the only thing that is not an object away from you, but the feeling of yourself. And then the awareness falling into itself, folding back into itself, becoming alive and light infused, where all of God's creation comes alive, interconnected, inseparable, vibrating. This is the possibility. This is the offer.